40inbox.com here, and we're going to be talking about a influencer called Sam Sulek. I think that's how you pronounce it, and that he's on the track to becoming a millionaire if he's not already, and kind of explain like how and why. But also like say you were to be in like a similar position where you're able to like almost like similar to like winning the lottery in terms of like how much money he's probably getting access to right now and like how you should manage that money so that like let's say that for some reason like you build up this following but then it just goes away quickly, like how you can manage that money to where you're basically set for life, right? But it's kind of like an interesting way that he's actually making the crazy amount of money probably is because recently he signed like a deal with a supplement company called Hostile. Let's see, yeah, so Hostile. And what's interesting is like basically if you were to like how he basically makes money from this company more than likely is that when you use his specific code, he gets like a kickback, right? So let's say like you buy like a $50 supplement stimulant from this company, but you use his code, maybe he'll get like $5 for that order or $10 for that order or however the percentage is structured. And let's say that he has like 1,000 people buying with his code, right? That could be anywhere from like, a few $1,000s all the way up to $10,000 to like 30, 50, 80. Like I've seen some influencers where they had some of their numbers kind of like talked about in terms of like how much they're actually getting paid when they do like deals like this. And we're talking about like depending on the following, you could actually be making like six figures by doing these like affiliate marketing deals for these companies. And that's not even including whether or not he got paid just straight up like a sponsorship deal too, right? Because he could have like he might have been paid like an actual contract in terms of like maybe like for like a year he gets paid like 100K, then also on top of that gets paid like a kickback for every sale. Like so either way he's making really good money now. And like because of his following, like, again, like he's getting like a million, 2 million, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, 1.7 million, 2 million like views on his clips, not to mention all the other clips of him all over the internet, not to mention like his YouTube channel, which is like crazy views. And the interesting thing about why he might be making so much money as well is one, the length of content for his like YouTube, meaning that like the followers that he has like a very strong connection to him, right? So like probably like the people who maybe watch his YouTube videos are like they're not really just fans, but they feel potentially like they know Sam on like on a personal level. So they would probably be way more likely to be willing to use his code to go buy something to support him, to believe in him, etc. So we're talking about, again, crazy money probably coming in every single month. Like crazy money. Like I would not be surprised if Sam Sulek right now is making like $100,000 minimum per month just from like the influencer side of this whole thing, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Now, let's say for some reason you get into a similar situation. How can you manage that money so that it's just not burnt away really quickly, right? One, the simplest one is spend less than what you make and you'd be pretty okay. That's like the most basic financial principle ever. But because of the sheer amount of money that he could do, if he has any debt, pay that off. Have like a 6 month emergency fund, but because of like the nature of like his income, now I think he works like an actual job too, so he has income through that way too. But because of he's probably wanting to do the influencer thing full time later on, or if he's not already, maybe aim for like a year of like emergency fund for like just your living cost, just in case something were to happen, you'll be okay. And that's like the bare minimum to like survive on a per month basis for 12 months. Like if I was in his situation, that's what I would do just to be on like the little bit safer side. Then I would start putting money towards investments, right? I would max out a Roth IRA, although because of how much money he's making, he's going to have to do like a backdoor Roth IRA just because, again, I guarantee that this guy's probably making like a crazy amount of money. So he has to go through a backdoor route to do a Roth IRA to max that out. He could also set up his own company in a way to where he could pay himself a 401k from his own company. Now, is that worth it? Maybe not. Maybe not really worth the hassle because it's really just him. But either way, he should really allocate a good amount of money coming in towards retirement. Like, let's say that he wants to put stuff into like the S&P 500, get pretty much like a 10% return on that money every single year, average, right? Then put money potentially towards like a down payment for a home if he doesn't already have a home. Maybe buy a home in cash so he just never has to worry about like housing costs like at all. Like if I was him, which I'm definitely not, like this guy like physique is like insane, like props to him. But if I was in his position in terms of like the amount of money coming in, what I would do is make sure I have no debt, make sure to max out any retirement tax savings accounts that I could do. Then I would put like probably like split it evenly between putting money into the stock market, into the like S&P 500, just to keep it simple, and real estate. So I would want to have a paid off home for myself, like my primary residence, so that I always have a place that I never have to worry about paying necessarily mortgage or anything like that, just so that I keep my costs super low, so I just don't even have to worry about it. Then start putting way more money into like retirement homes, well, not retirement homes, but like rental income homes, just so that I could keep on getting money every single month. Because the thing is, I mean, he's probably going to want to like work out like he is for a very long time, but you just don't know how long necessarily you want to be like an influencer. You don't really know how long necessarily this is going to continue because you just never know, right? Some people might just quit doing the whole influencer thing after like a couple years, and that's that, right? Or maybe he loses his brand deals. Maybe, well, I mean, he's probably going to still be able to get his own brand deals. I mean, his following is so huge, he could probably just make a product and make crazy amounts of money doing that way too. But either way, the type of money that's coming in can potentially be like more negative than positive because you get into a situation where like you didn't have like this type of money beforehand, right? It's like it's very similar to someone winning the lottery in terms of like the sheer amount of money coming in, right? Like let's say that he was making, I don't know, like 3K, 4K per month before blowing up on, social media. Maybe he's making like six figures a month now after doing social media for a while. Like this is a huge difference in money. And you just got to be really careful making choices, right? Because you really don't know how long it can last. And I mean, like, for example, FouseyTube is like a good example of someone who's made like millions and millions of dollars on his social media career, but then completely blowing through all the money, right? Like he blew through all the money, and now he's basically going crazy on like live streams and whatnot. So I kind of want to see him so like to like do well financially and like not like get himself into a position where it could be harmful, right? Because there's probably other like fitness social media influencers that probably have made a good amount of money, but then burn it. Because the problem with a lot of fitness influencer guys, mainly because they're like a little bit younger, is that they tend to pretty much buy like brand new supercars, like Lamborghinis, Audi R8s, who knows, brand new Corvettes for like multiple six figures or something, like who knows, Ferraris. I mean, like, is a very big problem because a lot of these social media influencers act like that money is going to be the same forever. And that's a very dangerous way to think, right? Now, you always want to try to be better. You always want to try to make as much money as you can, right? You always want to make more money, right? But just expecting that you're always going to be making six figures a month, it is a very dangerous way to think, right? Not to mention, I think recently some of his videos started to get like copyrighted, so he had to start like switching his intro because I think the song started to get copyrighted. So that's potentially like who knows thousands and thousands of dollars lost of income because of those copyright sounds. Like that sucks, right? Like you don't really know what's going to end up happening, so I just want him to be like careful with his money to the extent of like being able to take care of himself long term. Because like a good example of like a fitness influencer, fitness like idol, right? That has done very well is Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, one, is still very, very, very fit, but has maintained like making good money and having good money for a very, very long time. I think pretty much nearly his whole career in like bodybuilding, at the very least, once he became like the champion, he has been financially very good, right? To the point where like he just never has to worry about money because that's the route you want to go, right? You want to be able to do this whole social media thing, be able to work out the way that he is, not to mention eat the way that he wants to, because like you probably like if you stumble upon this, you've probably seen his like diet for the bulk meal, like bulk day, whatever, right? I mean, the amount of food in terms of like cost that he would have to eat during his bulk days is probably a huge amount, right? Like that stuff really adds up. Like I don't know, like I think I saw like in that one video probably maybe like $50 to like $100 worth of food, right? That he got. So like I think that was for like maybe 2 days, one day or something like that. So that stuff adds up really quick, right? So if you're not able to maintain the level of income to like maintain that type of spending just for food, you gotta be like super careful, right? You really gotta structure your money in a way where that you could keep doing that over and over and over again, and not have to like resort only to eating like ramen for bulking. Even though like if you want to do that, it's super cheap calories, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting because like this guy's blowing up like crazy. Again, he's making crazy amounts of money. It's just I've just seen so many people start to make really good amounts of money just completely blow everything. Like completely blow everything. Like imagine if you can make potentially like $3 million after tax. You're like if depending on how you set up that money, you could be set for life and like literally do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life, depending on how you set it up. So just stay safe with your money.